New Zealand share markets were closed on Monday for Labor Day. However, US equity markets were higher, but European markets were slightly more mixed. US equity markets were boosted by the fact that US existing home sales have increased by 10% through the month of September. This is the second consecutive monthly increase and should provide a bit of a boost for the housing industry, which of course has been struggling of late. The outcomes from the G20 meeting that was held over the weekend are starting to filter through. It seems like the countries have committed to no competitive devaluation of their currencies, and this should be good news down the track. It also means that the US, UK and Japanese will likely continue with their quantitative easing programs. This should provide a bit of a boost for their economies, as well as keep inflationary pressures up down the track. A more stable currency environment after the G20 meeting, as well as further prospect of quantitative easing, has seen the US dollar out of favour over the weekend. The Kiwi is once again trading over 75.40 against the US dollar on Tuesday morning. The Australian dollar is also well over 99 cents against the US. In general, commodities have been in favour. Cotton prices are up about 4.2% over the past 24 hours, and this is on top of the 9% increases we saw through last week. There is some speculation that production will be lower, as weather has affected the major producing regions of China and also of the US. Further strengthening in cotton prices should be good news for wool growers here in New Zealand and should be a good positive underlying factor for continued strength in prices. New Zealand beef schedule prices have been fairly flat to soft over the past 7 days, but the US market is looking pretty hot at the present time. The 50cl price in the US is up 19% on last week levels, and this is all coming down to demand. Producers out of the US, of course, use 50cl to mix with very lean grass-fed beef that is imported out of Australia and New Zealand. Other key factors coming out of the US suggest that the cold storage inventories are down 13.6% on the 5-year average. This indicates that the supply fundamentals in the US market are still very tight, and this should be good news for farmers back here in New Zealand. We still expect to see New Zealand beef schedule prices ease from current levels, but in general, the upcoming season should see beef schedules higher than last year levels.